Hello there, my name is Richard from Silent Peak and welcome to this GenSwap review. Now GenSwap for Luminar Neo is a generative AI tool that enables you to insert new photographic elements into your image or to swap one element for another. So for example, we might add a bee to a lonely flower, fill an empty sky full of birds, or replace one type of animal for another. Really, you are seemingly only limited by your imagination. So GenSwap seems pretty cool, but does it work? Well, let's find out. So we're going to begin by choosing our photo and clicking on GenSwap. Now using GenSwap is very, very straightforward. Down here we have our brush, two modes, one for applying the mask and one for removing our erroneous brush strokes, and a size option, so we can simply make our brush larger or smaller. Now I thought for this we would sort of start off simple, and we're going to apply a flock of birds into the sky. So let's sort of paint that area in which we want to insert our birds. All right. Like I say, if you make a mistake with your mask, we can hit deselect and just sort of clear up anything that we need to. And here is the trick. So what we do is we write in what we want. So I'm going to type in a flock of seabirds. After that, we click swap. Now this is the part where we wait. I've timed this wait ranging sort of between 35 and 45 seconds. But what I'll do is I'll whiz through this so you don't have to sit and wait, like I have to sit and wait. And there we go, there is our result. And we can see there that we do have a flock of seabirds. Quality is not fantastic, but nevertheless, we have our birds. So once again, to GenSwap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute this shell here for a crab. So I'm typing in crab and swap. And there is our crab. And overall it looks a bit good. I would probably go into edit mode and kind of sort of blend it better with the lighting of the photograph. But nevertheless, GenSwap has done a pretty good job. So this time I thought I'd give GenSwap a bit of a challenge. Here we have our sort of seabird here, and I'm going to see what happens when I try to trade this seabird for an eagle. There's our mask, and let's type in golden eagle and swap. And there we have our golden eagle. It's there, it's done a fantastic job of removing the seagull, but the eagle itself looks kind of out of place. Its lighting is obviously different to the rest of the image, and it does kind of look imposed. And it reminds me an awful lot of Luminar AI's Augment AI, which was similar in that we could drop a subject straight into an image. But at least with Augment AI, we could resize it, reshape it, and I think we could relight it as well. But in this case, we can't relight our eagle. So let's try one last thing. So in this image, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to trade the grass for a sand dune. So let's see how GenSwap can deal with that. Got to be careful around my subject. That's probably a bit much. So there you go. That's how you do your erasing. Easy as. I'll try and be as neat as I can. Alright, we're going to type in sand dune and swap. And overall, I have to say, that looks pretty good. And let's see what else we can do. So what we'll do now is we'll add perhaps just a little jet plane flying in the distance. So something pretty discreet. We're not making this look big. And I will try and type in distant jet plane and swap. Now in this case, I think it's all going to go horribly wrong because I didn't unmask the sand dune. And look at that. That is pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure that was what I was looking for. However, I can happily and admittably put that down to user error. So let's revert back to where we were. We're going to reset the selection. And this time I'm going to apply my one-off mask. And again, I'm going to do distant jet plane and swap. And there we go. That's rather not a bad interpretation of what I asked for. If I was to repeat the process, I would most likely end up with a very different plane. And it is a shame that I can't sort of transform that object, as in resize it, reshape it, flip it, relight it, much like I could in Luminar AI's Augment AI. However, it is what it is. And overall, if we sort of remember what this picture used to look like, it's pretty impressive. So as you can see, GenSwap is full of potential, and it really does offer us a glimpse of the kind of tools that we might be using in the future. However, this first iteration of GenSwap does have its problems. Typically, the quality of the result does vary. In some cases, the results look excellent. In other cases, not so much. But critically, you have very little control over what that result, regardless of how good it looks, will look like. For example, we can add a bird into the sky, but it's not necessarily going to look like the bird we imagined, nor is it necessarily going to be in the right position, the right size, or indeed at the right angle. Perhaps future iterations of GenSwap will give you more creative freedom over this process, but for the moment, regardless of how well it looks, you're very much going to get what you are given. Regardless, GenSwap is a lot of fun and I really enjoyed testing it. If you would like to test GenSwap, the best thing you can do is subscribe to Luminar Neo Pro. For around about $10 a month, you get Luminar Neo, the 6-strong extension pack, the Creative Journey pack, which includes GenSwap, GenErase, Studio Light, and a few more upcoming tools. And of course, unlimited updates. It really is a good deal. And if you would just like to try Luminar Neo itself, there is a link in the description below. My name's Richard from Silent Peak. Wish you a great day. Bye-bye.